My name is Diom. I was born in Paris and I was raised there. I went to high school, so I spent quite a long time there. I find that way, the visual way to express myself, because it's been always there for me, is natural actually. To be able to draw, or even if my skills are limited, to draw and to be surrounded by it. I was watching more and more of movies. As soon as we got a VCR, I remember I was watching lots of movies. I remember watching, being very influenced by the Star Wars movie and by everything like the Indiana Jones. Like in the 80s, there was lots of movies like that. Then I was watching the James Bond movie, and I was spending my afternoon like watching them and watching them. I'm quite interested actually about what happened after the beginning of the 20th century. I'm quite fan of the work of Picasso, and I like William Blake. I've been as well into the German Expressionism. Everything, in fact, that is not just like beauty for beauty has an interest in me. But I would like to add the fact that I'm quite interested about any kind of painting that come from different parts of the world. The primitive art, what people were drawing into caverns during the prehistoric time, is very interesting for me, because I feel like they go straight to the point without wasting time and energy. And I like the African mask. I think it had an impact on me when I was growing. I had some on the walls in my place. I would like to say that my art is unique. I've never been realistic actually. Never been realistic, and I don't think I'm really interested about being realistic. The first thing I was drawing as a kid were the characters I was seeing in the cartoons and in the comic books. After that, I started to draw planes, spaceships. I think I was very influenced by spaceships. Then I was drawing characters again, and I never stopped. The art that I'm doing now, I think, is expressing what I'm feeling at the time. It's just that there's a continuation. For me, I see a line from when I was a kid to when I was to what I am now, and I really like mythology. This has an impact as well on me. So I'm trying to see some. I grew up with having lots of emotion, from fear to being impressed by some characters, and now I'm thinking all of these things going out, but my my life and having the experience that I had, I suppose, is bringing some layers on top of this, and my art is representing this. It's my experience of life actually. My educational background in painting is quite late, because it's only a few years ago I went to Africa. I went to Senegal, and I was already living in London. I decided to move away from here and to study art. So I went to an art school in Senegal, which was quite shocking for most English people, who were asking me for which reason I would go in Africa to study art. For my artwork, I think I will use anything that I could have, but mostly it's just like simple brush and few pieces of paper. In terms of art style, I'm not sure I'm following anything. I think when I was a kid, like I said, I was influenced by what I was around me, which was always like fantastic world with fantastic people. What I paint is more related to emotions. It's not really about ideas, actually. It's just about trying to release, I suppose, things that are inside of me. I've been into quite interesting situation living in France from an African Muslim family, being surrounded by the French culture, then coming to England, being a foreigner again, then going back to Africa and being a foreigner again. So there's a lots of situation that it's like a puzzle, in fact. All of this created the kind of something inside that needs to be released. I think my art is controversial for several reasons, and I think that the main one is that I'm trying to get as deep as I can into myself, and I'm trying to avoid any kind of politeness into my work. I'm trying to avoid being beautiful just to be beautiful, and I think I'm trying to be as myself as I can. And when you go into that kind of research of yourself, you end up with some results that can be very controversial. My artwork is too controversial for the mainstream. I already expect that if people are confronted to it, they will say that is nonsense, they will say that is crazy, they will say that is ugly. I describe my paintings as being very hard, being very difficult for people. I'm expecting very bad reaction from them because it goes straight to I'm trying to cut all the fat from what is inside of me and go as deep as I can into what is important. And I'm showing things that are scary, and I'm showing things that not everyone is ready to confront. I will say I'm realist, but at the same time not being real at all. It's like a distortion of reality using my own perception.
Okay. And this is your way of expressing yourself?
It's just like being myself, actually.